Okay, hi. I wanted to see if you guys could make a kind of a cool design for the first part of the game. I was kind of into this, and I thought maybe could get into it too. Basically, when the Pente board shows up, I have it now doing this, but you could do any design. I'd like to see a cooler design than mine. If you could figure out something to do with this, like a smiley face or something like that, I would be totally happy. Like, please don't use my design. You can use your own designs. And the idea here is to come up with something creative. So showing creativity is good. Let me show you how this all came about. So I was testing things out and putting players in here, and I figured out that when you click on a square, it tells you where it is. See that? Okay. And it tells you where it's at. See how it's going down? This is like the 0th column, but it's like the 8th row, the 9th row, the 10th row, the 11th row, the 12th row. And so I figured out that you could kind of harness this information to make basically like a P for Pente, right? Okay. So basically, what I did was this is all stuff that we all have in our code, and I turned off the game. I collected up all this information. I copied it, and then I put it in. What I did was I just picked up all this stuff, and I got this extra error message, I know, but I'm going to copy it. And then what I did was I went down here. I made a thing called initial Pente, okay? And I don't know, you guys could make one like, and basically this is at the very, very bottom of the class. This is just a public void, def to make something. And we could call it like initial display, something like that, okay? And go like this. And then the only thing you really have to do is just kind of paste this thing in here, okay? And you can do it how you want. I don't know. I kind of made it a big comment, but you could scale off these things, or just even write down the coordinates or something like that. Whoopee, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. Hang on one sec. Did that. Clean it up. Took like 10 seconds. But what you want to do though is you want to turn these into um, um, Java statements that we can use, okay, which you can do. You can do it really quickly, okay. So I'm still got all these guys here. And what we're going to do basically is the way to set things on the screen is with the game board, okay? So I did it like this because sometimes I forget what the variable names are called, but I know it has something to do with the game, and that's game board right there. See it? It's a two-dimensional array. So you're gonna go like this, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna use these coordinates for setting. You can't just copy them. You have to go like this because this is how you address the two-dimensional array in Java land. But this is basically the board square at row 6, column 0. And what we're going to do is we're going to set state because we have that. Okay, and then you can make it like Blackstone, right? Okay, and then that will like set that. Okay. So, and so on. And so what you would do is you'd kind of keep going with all these guys. I'll keep going here. Okay. And I just kind of transform these statements, here. Or you could just kind of I'm just redoing this one. I don't want to do that. You could just actually just keep the information. We're going to put in a semicolon. I'm going to put in a semicolon. No, I got it. Let me turn this off for a sec. Okay, so I'm here, and what I need is a whole bunch of these statements actually. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm just going to change these coordinates. This is like 7-0, so get that done. This is 8-0, get that done. This is 9-0. So I'm just going down like the 0th row, right? This is going to be 10. This is going to be 11. Okay, and we get it all the way down to 12, I guess, right? Like 12. Okay, so this is like part of like, you know, if we're going to make like a P, it's going to look like that, right? And then the top part of the P, this is 12, oh, we're done with that. Then you have to come out from 6. This is the 6th row. You have to come out two spaces. So I'm gonna need 2 more of these. Okay, so I'm gonna go 6 and 6 and 1 and 2. Okay, and I'm gonna show you what I got so far. It's not too hard. You just have to, show some care and like get this to get happening. So the way this is going to happen is what you're going to do is let me see. In the game board thing here, what happens is this is the constructor, right? So what you do is you build the constructor, dun, 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 and then I have a thing right here, right before the first repaint, or first, right before mouse listener, I added 2 commands. So I'll say initial display, which is what we're building right now, and then I'm just gonna trigger a repaint if it helps me. I'm not sure if this is really helping, but I'm doing it. And what's going to happen then is it's going to go like this. Okay, and that's the thing we made so far. And it'd be actually cool to make like even random ones. I mean, you could just use your imagination and do something. What happens is this shows up before these show up, okay? And so what's going on is that we're allowing this to happen and this to happen, and then you get to the first thing. Okay, so then what we need to do is, if yours is not showing up, we need to make sure that when you're doing the initial setup, okay, what happens is you go through the constructor, dun, 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 we call initial display, right, goes through here, right, goes to all this stuff, and then in the game runner, this is what happens when you call up Pente game board. So it'll do this display right here, okay, we go like this, we turn on this, and this is how you see the initial display, okay, and then we call start game, which is going to do a board clear, okay, and then what I want to do is in that, so that's in the game board. So I'm going to go start new game. We're going to look at start new game for a second, and I think we used to have a command right here, reset board, which clears the board. And I don't want to do that anymore. Okay. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset the board. Like, I don't know. I did it here last night. It seems like it doesn't actually take until you go here, so I might do it here. Okay. And I'm just moving this command. Okay. So this is moved here, the first line, and what it does is it gives you a little bit of a time to see your initial display while these 2 menu things are popping up. Okay, so what happens is you let me see, looking at game runner, what happens is the Pente board gets formed right here, and it gets shown like right here, right? So we're going to run this. And what happens is the initial board shows up like this, right? The initial board is called from the constructor, which is up here. This is the constructor for this, right? This builds all the game pieces, and then this runs the initial display. Okay, and so whatever you put in there, then it's going to show up, which is cool. Okay, and what I'm showing you is how to. I made a like this one for the Pente letters. I would love to see this kind of detail. I want to see your own kind of stuff, But you could do something more simply. You can make like a big P or something like that if you wanted to. Okay, I'm showing you how to make a P on the side here. So I got done with these guys, right? I'm gonna need looks like 7-2 and 8-2. So I'm gonna copy this, and I'm gonna go 7-2. I'm gonna paste this and go 8-2. So that takes care of these two coordinates that I figured out. And then I just need two more. So I'm going to copy this one more time. Go to here. Go 9-2. Okay, this is like the bottom of the P. I think this is the 9th row. This is the second thing. And then it's going to go 9-1 to that. Okay, so all this makes a big black P. Okay, so then I'm kind of done. So I can pull this out now. Okay. And I have it marked that it makes a P so people can understand what I'm trying to do a little bit. So right now when I do this, I've made, ta-da, the P, okay? So what I want you guys to do is make something cooler than this, okay? Don't make this, don't make the Pente thing, try for something else, use your creativity. If you need more creativity time, we can talk about it. But basically it's stopping because I didn't fill in the blank there. But that's it. Okay, so I'm looking for some function called initial display, and I'm looking for some use of it in our constructor. Okay, let's go back over here. Our constructor, okay, which is called from here. Our constructor game board. Okay, so it's called after the big loop nested thing which builds the thing. Okay, looking for that. That's the use of the initial display. Okay, and then basically, to make it show up better, take out this line and move it to here. And then things should be fine, okay? And that's good. And then we'll start working on the board. But I think this is enough for tonight. I feel like this is a challenge for you. And I want to see your creativity. I want to see you guys being able to use things that we know how to do to, and put them to good new uses, okay? Okay? So that's what I'm looking for, and you guys can check it out. Talk to you later. Bye.